check this out. Always pre-fill any funny business. Anything that's loose, you gotta cut it out. Internals, if they aren't tight, pre-fill it. Just makes the whole process a lot easier. Well, just go like that and clean it right off. When you're hitting renovations, it's kind of hard to keep it tight. Make sure all your screws are in. Remember this screw that I put in the other day? Take that out. That's not moving anywhere. That's stuck. That's staying. Perfect. Pre-fill anything like that. Pretty much putting it on and taking it right off and keeping it where it needs to be. Very simple. You try to do that everywhere that needs it. Anything that has a gap bigger than 4 millimeters, you should pre-fill. I'm gonna go ahead and do that everywhere that needs it. Now, it's always good to scrape your plaster to give it a chance for the plaster to stick to the plaster. Alright, this is kind of new plaster, I don't need to do it there. There's paint on here. Anywhere that there's paint and plaster don't go together very well. So I like to scrape the paint back. So I'm not really going deep into the plaster, just slightly touching it up. I got a 6-inch right there. I got a hook. I've got fiber fuse. I've got that base compound I just finished mixing. Get that base. Just like that. Put on the joint. I'm gonna continue that process all the way through. I like to do more than one joint just to start with. Just like that. You wanna make sure that the joint is covered. Every part where the tape is gonna sit needs to have gear for that to stick. Without the gear, oh man, it's not going to stick. You've just wasted your time and you're gonna create more work for yourself. There's a bad joint right here. It's all pretty much the same thing. Drywall shorty. What's up? Now, once you've applied the mud on, first of all, you need to make sure that it's the same consistency all the way through. Otherwise, you're gonna play with the mud, play with the tape too much, and it just gets weird from there. Especially fiber fuse, it start tearing off, and that's bad for business, right? All you gotta do there is just put a tape right in the middle of the joint, just like that. Get to the end, and just cuts right off. Repeat that same thing right in the middle of the joint. Don't get it twisted, that's not the joint, okay? Right there, just cut that off. You always wanna start from the middle. Go the opposite way, come back and go to where you started off and go to the very end and finish it off. Same thing, doesn't matter how big or small the joint is. Start in the middle, go that way, and that's it. Fiber fuse doesn't need much. It's very thin tape. Right? Especially I like using fiber fuse with renovations just because of how thin it is, as well as of how the actual tape is. But you gotta be careful not to tear it. If you keep going over it too many times, you're gonna tear that tape. And of course, that's bad for business, right? I'm gonna repeat all that everywhere where I have a joint. You wanna make sure that there's enough gear where that tape is going to be. Otherwise, it's a bubble, my G. Like I say, you just wasted time. Put your fiber fuse there, go down, cut it, right? Even with bad joints, you always wanna start in the middle, go up, go down. You see how I'm putting on a little bit of gear while I slide? It just makes it easier to slide. And yeah, that's why. It just makes it easier to slide. Cool. Now, when I'm finished doing that, what I like to do, especially with something like this, I like to apply more mud. And then you just wanna take that mud off, right? The top, clean it up. So, get to the bottom. And do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Grab the mud, put it on. Right? It gets ugly, gets dirty, gets messy. But as long as the mud is on the tape and the tape is on the joint, then you go. Alright, still not avoid the rocks. So make sure the corners are tight. That's like that. And that's it. Budget will have to go a little bit wider. Why the fuck that was it? Budget will have to go a little bit wider. Like that. Yeah. And I just clean it right off. Right? I know it doesn't look like I did much, but I actually did a lot. Now, before I start talking about internals, let me talk about externals. Check this out right there, look. See all the ugliness? You gotta scrape all that bad stuff off. Take it off. It should be nice and flat, ready for the next coat. That's it. External scraped, very good. Now let's talk about internals. I wanna get this right here. Just wipe it off. So the more runny it is, the messier it gets, easy to push. The more harder the mud is, the harder it is to push, but less messy it gets. If you know what I mean. If you're a beginner, I recommend a more runnier. If you're a professional, then you know what kind of mud you like to use. Very good, that's it. I've got a 3-inch on me. Get that tape. The joint is right here. Go right there. Go all the way down. Get to the bottom and mark where the ends before it touches the ground. And I just cut it there. I like to cut the back into like a pointy situation there, and then you crease it. I get the mud like this. I put my finger there. Apply a little bit of pressure. Do the same thing there. Come up. Repeat that. And it'll come up like that. Good. You gotta make sure it's the same consistency all the way through. You don't want to have too much mud on there. The more mud you have on it, the more you gotta push that mud out. But you also don't want to see the plaster behind it. Otherwise, it's gonna turn into a bubble. That's what it is. You're gonna get the tape right here, brother. You don't want the tape to touch the ground. Cool. Make sure it's sitting in the middle. Always, when you're doing drywall, always start in the middle of the joint. Whether it's an internal or a bar joint or whatever it is. Start in the middle. Go up again. Same direction. Right. Repeat that. That's pretty much it. But then I'm gonna finish the bottom, of course. Do the same thing I just done. Just clean off that excess gear right there. That's it. Make sure it's clean enough to just top over. You don't want any daggy beats in it. Don't want any funny business. Make sure it's nice and sharp, clean. Because once this mud goes off, it goes off like a rock. And the scraping is not what you want to be doing. It's a waste of time. So clean it up right now where the mud is still nice and wet. That's it, man. That's how you do any internal. Doesn't matter how big it is, whether it's square set or no, same procedure. That's pretty much it, man. Look, that's it. Now, let's talk about second coating renovated joint. Now, if I put my trowel on that, it's kind of bad, but you expect that. This side, Same thing, kind of bad, all right? So I know that the top is flat, the bottom is going in. I wanna have more gear on the bottom than I do on the top. Right, this is what I mean. I wanna go more to the bottom and then a little bit to the top. Right, this is only second coat, by the way. So topping will be even wider, but it's the same process. And I just done that internal right there. It's still kind of wet, so I don't wanna really go down low in it. And of course, you feather that, put pressure on one side. Right, you can feather with a 6-inch. You gotta put pressure on the side, just like that, and then clean it up. You don't wanna take that. I don't mind cleaning a lot on the top, but with the bottom, I need a little bit on that. Repeat the same process here. That's it. Third coat is gonna be all the way down here, all the way up there. And you just gotta hope for the best. Put a mud on, yep. Calm down. Two. I don't like to start with the width that I'm going for. I like to start a little bit smaller and then work up to the width I really want it to be when I'm finished, which is right about there. It's about 200 millimeters, right? And then you feather that. Come from down here and feather that. And then just touch it up, finish it up. Obviously, you want to second coat that once that's dry. But we just don't have that kind of time. That work with what you have right now. That's pretty much how you second coat the next panel. When it comes time to bodies, this one's pretty flat. Doesn't have to be as wide as that one, but I'll still make it wider. Whack it on. It's the same process. Feather it. It should be nice and flat. That's pretty much it. Obviously, internals, once that's dry, you get a topper straight away. That's done. Externals, you do them 3 coats. That was second. I just gotta top it one more time, go a little bit wider again, and that's done. Butt joints, same thing. One more coat, 3 coats, go a little bit wider again, and that's done. Same as the joints, okay? That's pretty much it. Everything else I do after this is pretty much repetitive, and I don't want to do that. So I'll just end the video right here. I appreciate you, my G. Let me know what you think. If you want me to make more videos like this, I would like to know in the comments, my brothers. I appreciate you. Gotta go. This bell's are getting louder and louder because I'm talking. Peace out, G.